Greetings, Cap fans, and welcome to episode 260 of the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast. I'm your host. You know me, I'm Rick Verbanis, and you know my co host, because he's the best gosh darn one out there. That's Bob Lucius. Oh, Bob. Doom, 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 doom.
All right, nice. I like how you've added Doom to that. So it was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it
yeah.
was a twofer.
Uh-huh.
Chopin's Funeral March.
It is.
Yeah,
Absolutely is. Very, very famous. Everybody knows that
y-
tune.
yeah. Even
Not
if they don't
everybody can
know
name
it's
it.
right. Yeah,
Not everybody can
exactly.
name it. Yeah.
Not everybody can name it. Everybody
But
thinks
thanks
it's
to comic books, we now know, yes, that is Chopin's funeral march.
yeah. Often
Uh,
confused with the wedding march. So
you heard that when you were walking down the
I
aisle?
did. Yeah, yeah. Somebody actually started playing that.
Well, actually, you know it's you know what I want to do when I do doom 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 doom
Yes.
doom doom doom. Doom doom
Right.
doom 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 doom
Yeah.
doom 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 doom
Yep, that's it. Yeah, it does
doom.
sort of
Yeah.
flow evenly into that, doesn't
Right?
it? Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. The
The
Imperial March.
Empire's
Yeah,
March.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
nice.
Chopin. Is it Chopin or Chopin? Because
Chop-
it's
Chopin, I think. You're right. Yeah, it's
yeah, I don't know.
I-N. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Oh.
just so glad you didn't go, hey, that's Chopin.
Chopin. Chopin.
Is that
Yeah.
chopping? Yeah. No, yeah, God, what a what a genius. He started composing that when he was like 27, 28 years old,
Yeah.
and then finished it when he was 30, way back in 1840.
Huh.
And
Yeah,
then he
well back.
passed, um, I don't know, something like 10 years later, and then they played it at his funeral.
Huh. Did they really?
They did.
Well,
Hmm.
that was opportune.
Yeah. Well,
Opportune. Yeah.
I mean, what else you gonna play?
That's a good point. Can't play Beethoven. Speaking
Yeah,
of which,
he'd be rolling over in his grave if you did
there.
that.
What? Speaking of which, what is Beethoven doing in his grave, Rick?
Ah.
Decomposing.
Oh,
Someone told me I had a joke in class the other day, and one of my students told me that one in return. So
that's really nice.
yeah.
Well, that's very fortuitous. It just was timely because otherwise, if it was longer than that, you would have forgotten it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I learned about the funeral march melody during Looney Tunes.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's where I got all my classical music from.
Probably.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when I was a
Yeah.
kid, right?
Bugs in his tails and
Hmm.
yeah.
Well, this one was actually in an episode called Tweet and Sour.
Tweet.
And it was um, Sylvester
Yeah.
was supposed to
Yep.
protect Tweety.
Yeah.
It was in like a violin string factory,
Yeah.
and then because he failed to protect Tweety, he plays the funeral march on a violin, and then he
Yeah.
falls into the violin case, kind of like a coffin.
Oh my gosh. Poor Sylvester.
Yeah,
That guy had it rough.
he did. Fluffer and Fluckatash.
I watched actually Looney Tunes last night, Rick.
Oh yeah.
So I had like a few moments, as I like to say to myself. My son, he went to a restaurant last night. He came home from basketball practice. He had dinner with me. My wife was at city council meeting, and I knew she wasn't going to be back till late.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And he said, "Hey, I've got some friends, and they're going to go watch the football game. Can I go?" And I said, "Well, it's a school night, so I need you back here no later than 9:30." And it's like 8. I'm like, "Oh,
Mm-hmm.
by the way," as he's heading out the door, "where is the game playing?"
Yeah, right.
Right? Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah,
Cross
yeah.
state lines.
He went to Twin Peaks.
Is that far from you?
Have you? Are you familiar with that chain restaurant? It's like a Hooters.
Oh, they weren't going to an actual football game. They were
Yeah,
going to watch a
to
football game
watch
on
it.
TV.
Yes, yes, at Twin Peaks. So
Very
yeah, he's been
nice.
bugging me for like months and months. They opened one up here. He's been bugging me for, hey, let's
Uh-huh.
just stop by sometime when I'm at city council. We can get a burger or something. Yeah. So
I gotta say, um, when it comes to Hooters, uh,
mhm.
they have really good wings.
Do they?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
not that you would eat them,
No, it's been
but
years and years since I've been
yeah,
to Hooters.
yeah. No, they
Yeah.
do. They actually have really good wings. Um, I think I've even taken my wife to a Hooters before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
We did pop in once. But my son wanted a T-shirt, so we did pop. There's one right across the street from my
Does
house,
he
actually,
does he
down the
tie
road.
it at the bottom and kind of like pull it tight at his stomach?
Yeah, of course, of
Yeah,
course. Yeah, he wants
yeah.
to show off his abs. Yeah, right. Yeah. So,
Oh boy. Bob, there's a lot of birthdays going on celebrating this week in the comic industry. So um well, I wouldn't say okay. We have a couple. Next week, a lot.
mm,
Which also happens to be my birthday.
okay.
What'd you get me?
Well, it's in the mail.
It's in the mail. All
Yeah.
right.
Was it? Yeah. Was this like a late that we like your conception? Was it sort of a late New Year's Eve sort of holiday
Oh
sort of thing?
well,
Because
yeah,
it's
yeah.
9 months, right?
Well, it's 10 months technically. Yeah, my
Yeah.
birthday's October 15th,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and yeah.
Right.
So
Right.
I would say yeah, January was a busy month.
Yeah. Yeah. It's cold.
Yeah,
Cold up north. Yeah.
right, exactly.
Yeah.
People have to huddle for
Yeah. Right. Right.
warmth.
Stay warm. Yeah. They
Yeah,
want you to
yeah.
have hypothermia.
But birthdays for this week. So if you're listening to this when it comes out, it'll be October 8th. Tomorrow, October 9th, Jim Starlin.
Jim Starlin. All right.
Oh, famous creator. And then October 11th, Joe Simon.
There you have it. One of the biggies.
One of the biggies. I mean, especially if you're a Captain America fan.
Yeah.
He
Absolutely.
co-created Captain America, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, that was huge. And it got me thinking. Way back in episode 2, Bob. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this is episode 260. Way back in episode 2, we had Joe Simon's grandson
Oh
on the
yeah.
show, Jesse
Jesse.
Simon,
Yeah.
and he had some really fun tales to talk about his grandfather, especially around Captain America. So that was
Right.
cool. But you know what? Here's something crazy, Bob. In that same episode, number 2, we covered panel by panel, dramatic read through of Strange Tales 114, which was the first appearance of
Right.
Captain America, not Steve Rogers, but the first appearance of Captain America in the Silver Age. And
Yeah.
then we followed it up with Avengers 4, right? So, first appearance of Captain
Yeah.
America, Steve Rogers. And then we had an interview with Jesse Simon. Guess how long that episode was?
3 hours and 47 minutes.
You would think,
Yeah.
right?
Based on our track record. Yeah.
Yeah, you would think. Nope, nope. 65 minutes.
What? That's not even possible.
I
Were
know.
you speed talking? How
I
is
don't
that
know.
possible?
I don't know. And then I was getting really curious. I was like looking at the rest of these, right? And then episode 3, we covered the Bloodstone Hunt,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Remember
So that
that?
was
Yeah.
issues 357 through 362. That's 6 issues
6 issues.
we covered in one
Yeah.
episode, Bob. How long did that take?
Probably 7.5 hours.
59 minutes.
59 minutes. Oh my gosh. Well, I think that proves one thing.
What's
People
that?
who sign up as to buy me a coffee
Hmm.
today and become patrons of the show, they're getting their money's worth. Like the old timers couldn't even
Yeah,
dream.
we make one comic last an hour and a half.
Yeah, I mean, where are you going to get that kind of value?
I don't know, man.
You know?
I guess I guess we'll have to let's put it out there to our listeners. Did you like it when we were succinct and could get through a whole arc
Yeah,
of
during a
story
bathroom
in an
visit,
hour?
like a bathroom visit, right? You could listen
Yeah,
to a whole show.
right.
Yeah,
Or do you like what we're doing now?
yeah,
Yeah, a few tangents. Anyway, also we because they were shorter, we were doing them more frequently. So
yeah.
episodes 1 and 2 came out in the same day, December 26, 2020.
Wow.
Then 5 days later, we did episode 3 of the Bloodstone Hunt. Then January 6th, we did Deathlock Lives, the 4 issues.
Yeah.
That was an hour and 12. Then episode 5 was 3 days later. We interviewed Bob Sharon, but it was only a half hour. And then we did the Captain America in the 50s, Captain America
Yeah.
153 to
Right.
156, which is the beginning of Steve Englehart's run.
Yeah.
We did that January 13th. So in the course of like 2.5 weeks, we did 6 episodes, and we're just rocking them out, man.
It's like we're on a mission. We had something to prove.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
speaking of Steve Englehart's beginning of his run, Bob, we're covering today the end of Steve Englehart's run. So, for our longtime listeners, you know that second uh, episode of the month typically is the long tail story where we just continue that story month after month after month after month. And so in 2024 we started Steve Englehart's The Secret Empire, went through all of those, and then that logically led us to what, Bob?
The Nomad
Right.
arc. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we did the Nomad arc, and that was 8 parts, so that
Yeah.
8 episodes. And that ended with 183 where Steve became Captain America again.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the question was, well, do we go to something else or do we just finish out Steve Englehart's run? There's 3 issues left. It's the story that just led up to now, which is the
Mm-hmm.
3-part Red Skull story. And we said, Bob, let's do
Gotta
it.
do it. It's the capstone,
Yeah.
right? It's the capstone of the whole arc. So you got to do it.
Yeah. So that's what we're
Yeah.
covering today. It is uh, Captain America 184, and it is the Nomad Aftermath Red Skull Part 1.
Mm.
And yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll be covering that today. Should we get to that?
Yeah, I just wanted to say though, Rick, if you think about, I mean, you just got me thinking about it. Just the number of episodes in this podcast and the topics that have been covered and the interviews that have been conducted, the issues, the stories that have been covered. Man, what a resource that is available for fans of Captain America or folks that are just sort of curious about Captain America that they can get on and listen to any of these episodes. It's just so much information at their fingertips. That's pretty
Uh,
cool.
it is pretty cool. I think we've provided a legacy. If we were to stop tomorrow,
Yeah.
right? We've got 5 years worth of Captain America goodness here. That if someone was to stumble upon it, it would take them a while to finish
I feel like somebody should record them on gold plates
it.
and put them on a space probe and just send them off into space on in the footsteps of Voyager, and get it out there.
Mm,
You know?
I don't.
No, probably not.
Yeah, I'm not on board with that at all. Next thing you know, Earth has an apocalypse, and we're
Yeah,
blaming
they're
Rick
blaming
and
us.
Bob for inviting aliens. They believe in a fictional character.
Who is this Captain America?
Yeah.
Experience a membership that backs your business journey with American Express Business Platinum. Earn 5 times membership rewards points on flights and prepaid hotels booked on AmexTravel.com. Plus, enjoy a welcome offer of 200,000 points after you spend $20,000 on purchases on the card within your first 3 months of membership. American Express Business Platinum. There's nothing like it. Terms apply. Learn more at americanexpress.com/business-platinum.
Wish you could become a morning person? You know the type, up before the sun, early morning runs, first one to the office with donuts and a smile. How do they do it? Easy. With the new Galaxy Watch 8, sleep tracking and personalized insights from Samsung Health help you improve so you can wake up to a whole new you. One who, dare I say it, skips the snooze? It's possible. Train your sleep with Galaxy Watch 8. Learn more at Samsung.com. Requires compatible Samsung Galaxy phone, Samsung Health app, and Samsung account.
All right, Bob. So
All
getting
right.
to today's comic, Captain America 184. I gotta tell you, I broke this one out of the bag and board. I've never read it before.
Mm,
This was my first time reading it,
yeah.
and I had no idea how crappy in condition this comic is. I would say this is a 2
Yeah.
on a
Yeah.
scale of 1 to 10.
Yeah.
It's a VG minus,
Yeah.
maybe a good plus. I don't know. It is bad, my friend. And then there was a little surprise. inside the comic as I was reading it.
Was that a mouse?
I'll get to that.
Okay. All right.
Do you want to take the listeners through the cover, Bob?
Yeah, I love this cover because it really sucks you in, Rick, and you can't wait till I get to this action in the comic. So we have 4 of our favorite characters right here on the cover, and really the illustration covers the bottom 2/3 because the top third is dedicated to the title of the book, but on those bottom 2/3 we see the Red Skull standing on the observation deck of a lighthouse on with his. I love this. I love the way they've got him posed, right? And this is a John Romita cover, I think, right?
John Romita and Gil Kane. Yep.
Yeah. And Red Skull has Sharon Carter lifted up over his head, and he's got his left foot planted firmly on the most ridiculously small, short railing I've ever seen. It's like a safety hazard just to have a railing that short on an observation tower in a lighthouse. But in any case, he's standing there with Sharon above his head.
It's just there for you to trip over.
It really is, right?
You know?
I mean, yes. It's like dangerous just to have that. You might as well not.
Right.
So he's getting ready to chuck Sharon off this lighthouse. And you can see the water down below.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see Captain America vaulting over this mini railing. And
I could vault over this minute. You know what I mean? Like it could make me look athletic. I'm like, yeah, sure, I could do this.
Sure, yeah, right. And he's got his shield like he's ready to fling it with his left hand, sort of just a flick of the wrist. And he's got a look of fury on his face as he's coming over that railing. And then we see down below, we see the Falcon flying toward this observation platform. And Red Skull is saying, "Keep away, Captain, or the woman dies." And Falcon is thinking to himself, and there's no way I can reach her in time.
All right. Comment on that. Okay.
Yeah.
I think first of all, I miss word balloons and thought balloons on covers.
Yeah.
I do. I miss those. I really wish we could have those back. But I think they added this thought balloon because to add more peril, because quite frankly, if the Red Skull throws her over, it'd be like, well, the Falcon's right there. He can catch her.
Yeah.
But right. So it was like, the editor was kind of like, oh, we gotta change that.
Yeah. I think that's a good read of this cover, right? Because you would think he's like kind of down below, right? At a lower elevation than that object. So he could just like, catch Sharon, pluck her out of the air, as you rightfully pointed out. So
now, I didn't want to say this before because you were on a roll.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the movie Animal House.
Uh-huh.
All right. Are we gonna
You're right.
What do you say? He's like, are we gonna when the Germans bomb Pearl Harbor? And he looked the guy like he's like, I said, are we gonna? No, he's on a roll. That's how I felt.
Sure.
That's how I felt with you.
Fair enough.
Sharon Carter's dead.
Oh, you're right. But this is Sharon Carter, is it not?
It's not.
That's certainly not Peggy Carter.
In the comic, it's Peggy Carter.
I know. But in the comic, there's no chucking Peggy off the light.
It's drawn to look like Sharon Carter.
It is.
But it's not.
Yeah.
It's not her. I always thought it was until I opened up the comic. I was like, well, wait a minute. She's dead.
Yeah.
She's not in this comic.
Yeah.
It's Peggy Carter.
Yes, you're right. And I was a little bit, sarcastic at the get-go because this action is not at all in the comic.
Yeah. But although they are at a lighthouse.
They are at a lighthouse.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Which is unfortunate because, this is a very action-packed sequence.
This cover was so good.
Yeah.
They made it into a 7-Eleven cup.
Yes, they did. 1977, right?
Yeah. And so I actually have the cup. I'm showing it here if you're watching. What's interesting is, though, the coloring is incredibly off. You see, they have the Red Skull in a yellow costume as opposed to a Hydra green.
Yeah, he's aimed for the purpose of the cup. Yeah.
Right. And then Carter is in a blue instead of a purple.
which is more appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those Slipperies were good, weren't they? Do you remember those? Man, those
Oh
are
yeah,
good
yeah.
times.
What was your flavor of choice?
Oh, I don't know. I was like a cherry person. I can't
Ooh,
stand the taste of cherry now. But
I didn't like the cherry.
I think back then I kind of like cherry.
I was a Coca-Cola Slurpee.
Oh,
I like
wow.
the Coca-Cola Slurpee.
Yeah. There's a
Yeah.
product placement.
Yeah. Um I had something else, but I'll get to that later. Yeah, all right. So let's get to the comic. The creators, we already mentioned John Romita and Gil Kane on the cover, and we mentioned Steve Englehart as the writer. Penciler, this is a fill-in penciler. It's Herb Trimpe. Now Herb was he's legendarily known as like an Incredible Hulk artist. In fact, he at this point when he was came on to do this fill-in issue, he had been on the Hulk for 7 years at this point. So
Long run.
yeah,
Yeah.
and this is his first Captain America comic of two. The next one he didn't do until way later in 1984 with issue 291.
Hmm.
That's the one that has the John Byrne Tumblr cover.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway, I thought that was interesting. So the inkers are Frank Giacoia and Mike Esposito, and colorist George Russos, letterer Tom Orzechowski, editor Len Wein. And I have a feeling like this was, I mean, like they got Frank Robbins off. Like, how long was Frank on for? A few issues, right?
3 issues, 4
Yeah,
issues at
yeah.
most. Yeah.
And they got Frank Robbins off. I don't know if it because people wrote in, didn't care for him. I don't know what it, but Herb
He was
was
doing
a
the Invaders at the time,
yeah.
so maybe he was just.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Well, they obviously got a fill-in artist.
Yeah.
On top of that, they have two inkers. That's always a sign that
Transition.
it's a rush.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
when you get more than one inker on it.
Hmm. Hmm.
All right. So we and the other thing too I want to point out is this is the end of Steve Englehart's run. It's the last three issues. They have Red Skull in them, and this is the first time. Now, Steve's up to this point's been on the series for 2.5 years, and he's had some amazing stories, which we've covered many of them here on the podcast. But he never had a Red Skull story, and it's kind of like when we had writers Jackson and Colin, Jackson Lansing and Colin Kelly on the first time maybe, and it was like talking about Red Skull, and they said like every writer who does a Captain America story has a Red Skull story in the back of their mind,
Yeah.
and they want to do it at some point, and uh, Jackson and Colin eventually did their Red Skull story through Thunderbolts,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And I think that's the same thing with Steve Englehart, right? It was kind of like, oh, I'm getting off the book soon.
Get it done.
Let's get some. I have this great Red Skull story.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Makes sense. I'm glad he got it in. And I mean, it says right on the cover, the Red Skull is back. So there we go.
Yeah, it's interesting. We think of the Red Skull, and it's like, oh yeah, he's been around forever, and he's Cap's main villain, but this is issue 184. So Cap's been in his own book for 84 issues, but at this point, only 15 of them had the Red Skull.
Mm.
So while I'm sure there was a bunch in Tales of Suspense,
Right. Yeah.
and I'm talking about the modern,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
but he hadn't been in the Captain America story for 3 years.
Yeah.
So
and they needed, I mean, there was some saturation. I mean, they definitely had reached the saturation point with the Red Skull, I think, it was overused probably, and needed a break away from that character to,
yeah. Yeah, well, like I said, it's been over 3 years since
Yeah,
he's been in it. So
yeah.
Steve brings him back. All
I
right.
love. By the way, I love the outfit on the. I didn't mention this on the cover of that outfit. He's sort of got the Hydra outfit that,
Right.
but it looks like he's got a back brace on. With that.
Well, he's got the jetpack.
Yeah, I know, but it looks like a back brace. It looks like something I wear when I'm like, putting stuff in the car. Like, oh, I got to make sure I got my back brace on.
All right, we open it up to the opening splash, and it's a big old close up of Cap's face, and he's hiding it behind his shield, and he looks pretty serious. And the title to this one is, Bob,
Cap's back.
Beginning a New Year and a New Era with today's most together superhero, the one, the only, Captain America. We turn the page and we see Cap kicking down a door.
Blam!
Look out, Skull. You're about to get your fondest wish in spades. The shards smack and echo from the smooth cement floor within, tactically testifying to the vacancy of the mud green, dank warehouse. The man strides into the void, neither believing nor disbelieving the echoes. He registers them and keeps his ears cocked. The man's name is Steve Rogers, an American who never heard the Chinese proverb concerning the man who dreamt he was a butterfly, and then asked himself if, in fact, he were not a butterfly dreaming he were a man. Yet Steve Rogers was Captain America until he saw how America failed its ideals. Then he was the nomad until he saw how he failed his ideals. Now he is Captain America again. But make no mistake, Steve Rogers has not traveled in a circle. And then a raven flies by, startling Cap. The huge black bird is a blur of night in the twilight gloom. It rises, pulsing, toward the far wall, to unerringly strike a brass button with its beak. With the sound of grinding gears and a subtle audio hum, 1975 begins for Captain America. And we see on the next page, uh, some sort of monitor comes on, and who is it, Bob?
Oh my gosh, it's the Red Skull himself.
Guten Tag. I knew you would come here, American swine. For that reason alone did I allow your Negro friend to live, when my master plan demanded the death of that foolish child pretending to be you. I wanted to Vulcan to tell you of his place of captivity, for I wish to tell you your fate. My fate is to overcome you or anybody else who wants to destroy freedom, Skull. Do not waste your breath on threats, Captain America. History has forced me to regard you highly as an opponent, but I am not so unoccupied as to await your coming. I have left this videotaped message and a raven to set it in motion, to tell you of history, specifically April 30th, 1945. On that date, Adolf Hitler, mein Führer, was driven to suicide in his bunker. By the 30th anniversary of that dark day, the Red Skull shall exact all due vengeance. By the 30th of April, 1975, the United States of America shall lie smoldering in ruins, and you will have tasted a defeat so poisonous. No! And Cap throws his shield.
Whoosh.
You made me remember what was important about this country, Skull. The dream it was built on, not the deadwood thrown on top. It was you who made me come to grips with the idea that you're not the only enemy that dream has, that not all our foes are die-hard Nazis. But it's also you who threatens the dream now. So it's You, Captain America, is going to stop. And he catches his shield. We turn the page and we see Cap going back out through the door. This man makes speeches. He can't help it. He thinks in principles. The principles now tempered on the forge of understanding and honed to the edge of reality. Falk told me the skull was behind these strange substitutions of counterfeit cash for the real thing. So I bet he has some scheme involving the economy. What's this? A television news crew. 3 television news crews.
We received a tip, Cap, if that's who you really are. Because if you are, your being back in uniform is the first big story of the year. So, what about a statement?
I am Captain America, Mr. Routher. I have come back. But I'm not interested in a lot of publicity.
Well, neither am I. But news is something I favor giving the public. Plenty of. And there's no getting around the fact that you're news. Come on, Cap. There are too many people hiding behind no comment today.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, but let's make it fast. I have places to go and promises to keep. And then Cap leaves and he heads out to Harlem and he's knocking on the door. I'm a public figure again, not like when I was a nomad. Then I operated in complete anonymity, complete freedom, but I couldn't do nearly as much for the cause of freedom. And who kind of cracks open the door, Bob?
Layla.
Yeah, it's Layla Taylor. She doesn't look happy to see him.
She does not.
Oh, it's you. May I see the Falcon, Layla? If you mean Sam, man, sure. And she opens up the door and he comes in and Sam's laid up in a bed. If we remember from the last issue, Red Skull hurt him pretty bad.
Yeah, he beat him down pretty well. And he killed Roscoe, but he left Sam alive.
He and me just got through with a nice long talk. We figured it was about time, seeing how he nearly took a bag for you last night, nomad. Ease up, Layla. It was my fault. I agreed to take care of Roscoe. It was my decision, my responsibility, and my failure. That dropped us into the Red Skull's grimy hands. Yeah, and it was my decision to drop my life as CA. CA. Really?
A lot of words in that bubble.
I guess. Yeah, and it was my decision to drop my life as CA cold, so that others tried to take up a job I made so dangerous. And none of that gets us anywhere. I just wanted to make sure you were okay. And ask if you had any more clues to finding the skull. You talk like you're going to go after him alone. That's exactly the way he's talking, Sam, because that's exactly the way it is. Okay, hero, you've done your dirty work for the day. You've made him want to get back out there and be your sidekick. That's not what I get out. No, I owe the Red Skull as much as anybody. I'm going with Cap. And as it happens, I do know where we got to go. You do? I do. Washington, the Capitol building, tomorrow at noon. He wanted us to know. And I want you to know, Cap, I'm glad you're back where you belong. I hope we can forget everything that happened between us while you were the nomad. Turn the page. And Cap nods. Eyes wide, he turns, he leaves. So it's on again, huh? One for all and all for one, him. It's not like that, Layla. You've never understood. Cap and I have our hassles, just like you and me. But he's always been a good man, and I've always been his partner. Man, man, man. What am I doing with a Tom like you? I'll never know. But it keeps on keeping on, don't it? Go on, Sam. Do what you gotta do. I am. and he leans in and gives her a big old kiss.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Cap's walking away in Harlem, and he's kind of looking down, looking a little sad, but he's thinking about everything that's happened leading up to this. Sure, Sam, all the bad blood between us while I was the nomad is forgotten, gone. But you think I've come to my senses, don't you? You think I'm rectifying a mistake. But being nomad was no mistake. Being forced into a greater awareness of corruption, deceit, and the madness of power was no mistake. Even if the initial shock was almost more than I could bear, I did react more with my heart than my head, but it forced me with a greater awareness of myself as a man and as a superhero. Apart from the living legend I had become, I learned what makes me tick. Something I could never have done while I was living my life trapped deep in a rut. I never intended to go back being CA, but it was only through stepping outside myself that I could gain a perspective on going back in. No, I may not always have made the best decisions, but nothing I did can be called a mistake. I've broken away from the blindness of the past, which can only mean a better future for both myself and the country. And that's a nice transition to the Washington Capitol. In the country's capital the following day, where the Post and the network's breakfast news have awakened the normally unimpressed populace to Captain America's rebirth, and radio and word of mouth have alerted them to his unexpected appearance on Capitol Hill. And Cap's there in front of the White House on the sidewalk, and he's there with the Falcon, both in uniform. And what's going on around them, Bob?
Well, there's a loud crowd. It's actually up front of the Capitol building, Rick. And I was curious.
Yes, right.
To your point, there's a large crowd. Many of them are holding up signs, and for example, one says "Cap is back." People seem joyous to see Cap and Falcon there. And a little tangent. I was very curious because in that first panel that we see the Capitol building, you see a lot of traffic, and I was like, can traffic get that close to the Capitol building? So I jumped on Google Earth, and zoomed in on the Capitol building to see where traffic was allowed. And unfortunately, Google Earth doesn't go back that far, but I was curious if traffic used to be able to get closer to the Capitol building. I was unable to determine it. Now it's mostly blocked off for, blocks around the Capitol. But I suspect back in the 70s, maybe they could get a little bit closer.
I didn't even give that into consideration. So,
well, Rick, that's just the kind of research I like to do for this show.
Yeah, well, thanks for bringing us no information about that. You stopped at Google Earth.
I Googled it.
Yeah.
It's research, man.
That's about as far as you got. All right.
Yeah.
1974 was a long, hard grind for most of the people gathered here, no matter their sex, race, or tax bracket. A grind that was always kept in first gear because it was all downhill. Presidents that swore one thing and meant another. Oil company profits at record peaks. Layoffs, violence, and the incredible shrinking dollar. Small wonder they push and shove each other now for a sight of a symbol long denied them. Denied us. It's funny, Bob, when I read comics like this that are 50 years old.
Yeah.
It reminds me there's been a lot of bad times in this country.
Yeah, it's cyclical, isn't it?
It really is.
Yeah.
But this is 1975, and there is no shortage of those whose shouts are of challenge rather than cheer. Those who see a left-wing conspiracy in this sudden return, and those who see a right-wing plot. Moreover, there are uncounted others who evinced no interest at all in Captain America's resurrection and elected to stay at home. For this is democracy in action. You'd better start moving everyone back, officer. It's nearly noon. Right, Cap. If the people were jolted by Cap's reappearance, officialdom was rocked on its heels. After all, the last time he visited Washington, as far as they know, he witnessed a top secret terror and then vanished. Yet, if that offended their sense of propriety, it was not enough to generate any skepticism at Cap's tales of the Red Skull. The Capitol building has been cleared. The area around it is being cordoned off. Still, not everyone in the city and suburbs could be forewarned, and high ranking members of officialdom command Dodge deference from the district police. This is the Honorable Herbert Glass, who was at a luncheon appointment with three Southern senators and no time to wait for bothersome barricades. It's a shame. He doesn't know of his second appointment. And he gets out of his car, and all of a sudden, there's a sound coming from his car that he just exited, Bob. Huh? The car radio turned itself on. Someone's whistling, and Cap recognizes it immediately. What is it, Bob? I want to
Chopin's?
hear it. I want to hear it.
Now I'm going to do the Imperial March, man, because I got that on my head. Thank you very much.
All right. And Cap recognizes it immediately. My lord, I haven't heard it since the war, but that's the symbol the Red Skull used to herald his attacks. Run, mister. Get away from that car. But out of nowhere, the Red Skull comes down, and he's in that green jumper suit, and he has a jetpack on. Yet before Herbert Glass can move a muscle, a bolt of scarlet lightning hurtles down into his path. Die, Herbert Glass! And he fires this gun that kind of puffs out this red mist over him. That strange crimson dust can't let it touch me, like it did Glass, who falls over. What is it, Skull? What weapon did you come up with this time? And he punches him.
Oh,
That, Schweinhund, you will learn only when it sears the life from your flesh. I call it the dust of death, and it shall destroy America. And at this point, Falcon rushes into action, and he's got Red Wing with him. Come on, Reddy. Let's show the man what our training sessions were good for. You can sense what I'm thinking. Do what I need you to do with it, without my putting it in words, which makes us a lot more effective than we were before. Black fool! The Red Skull did not come here to fight. He came here to kill. And it's interesting, Bob. He puts his arm up on and over his shoulder and touches his jetpack, but at the base of his jetpack, coming from behind him, is a ray that is shooting Captain America in the gut.
yeah, it's like it redirected one of the nozzles. So whatever energy is used to propel him can also be used as a weapon.
And he jets up into the sky as Cap falls. Let your fine feathered friend follow me into the sky if he wishes, for I have all but completed my mission here. Otherwise, auf Wiedersehen. It's not that easy, Skull. It's not that easy. And Falcon jumps on one leg, and Cap jumps on the other. So then, on the next page, the Red Skull pulls something out. Looks like a dart, from like throwing darts.
Yeah.
And he has that, and it has something on it. Oh, but it is. I would not attempt such a brazen assassination without a jetpack capable of carrying me free of any retaliation. Your weight will not slow me. I shall continue to rise, but you won't. And he throws the dart at Cap's hands, which causes him to let go. Heil Hitler! And he's plummeting to his death, but so the Falcon lets go to go down and get him. The crowd catches its breath, an audible groan, only to exhale, enthralled, as a red, white, and black form cleaves the air. He darts, he hurtles, And the years of training, too, long forgotten, prove their worth once again. And so he grabs Cap before he hits the ground. I'm assuming. Did I miss anything there? Any word balloon or anything?
Well, it it says he darts, he hurdles, he grabs, and the crowd goes weak in the knees.
Okay, so I don't have that in my comic because on the other side of the page was the Marvel stamp that got cut out.
Oh no!
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have to get a whole new issue.
Oh my gosh.
I have to replace this. It's in such a crappy condition, and then yeah, the Marvel. It was an Electro stamp. I had to look
Mm-hmm.
it up. You're still not so fast on those wings, partner. I almost worried. Yeah, you'll still get your chance. Looks like. And then the Red Skull zooms in. The struggle proceeds admirably. Admirably. I win, you win. The contest continues. But now, heed my next warning. The first member of the Federal Open Market Committee, the group which formulates American economy policy, has died. The second, the Honorable G. Lawton Sargent, will die at midnight tonight. A military victory is beyond mein Führer's grasp, but America shall lie in economic rubble before it can mark his final hour again. The Red Skull so swears! And he flies off. The crowd sighs at the skull's cries. They turn as one for a jostled glimpse of Herbert Glass, to gauge for themselves the skull's power to back his grim threat. And this is what they see. Bob, what happened?
Oh my gosh. Well, that death dust turned Herbert Glass into a Red Skull facsimile.
His flesh, it's shrunken, tight across the bone. His face has become a red skull. Lord, oh Lord, I'll get him for this and for Roscoe and for every vile thing he's planning. He can swear, but I can swear too, and I swear I'll get him. Phew. Cap may have trouble deciding how to do it, but he always knows what he wants to do. I wonder, do you think any relation to Cynthia Glass?
Good question, Rick. And I appreciate you asking. I don't think so, but it is interesting to think about.
Mm-hmm. Curious. Could be, son of Cynthia Glass
Could be. Could
when
be.
she married her true love.
Yeah. Well, she was dead, but you know, would have been hard. But who knows? I don't put anything past the Fiora and his Nazi scientific, minions. So
That's true. And the first thing he wants is a tight security screen for the Honorable Mr. Sargent. But the second in the remaining hours till midnight is a visit to a nearby Virginia manse.
Mance.
M-A-N-S-E. What's a manse?
It's a mansion.
Is that short for mansion?
Yeah, it's just a synonym.
Do you know that, or are
I
you
do.
just putting context clues together?
No, I've heard that used before. So
A manse.
yeah,
That's what the rich folk call it.
I think so. In the South, in particular.
At the manse.
Yeah.
Huh. All right. And who is it, Bob? Greeting him at the door.
I have no recollection of his name.
Oh, Smithers. Right, Smithers.
Okay, Smithers.
Yeah.
The manservant.
Ah, Captain America. If you come to see Miss Sharon, I fear she's not at home. May I wait then, Smithers? Of course, sir. I have to talk with Sharon. I haven't seen her since I left New York to work on my nomad costume. And she was upset with me then for contemplating a return to superheroics. I have to tell her personally how I came to be Captain America again, so she'll understand why it had to be this way. Beg pardon, sir, but I believe this is Miss Sharon coming now. And who is it, Bob?
It is indeed. Yeah, it's Sharon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
with
Sharon. Yeah.
with Dave. Dave Cox.
Yeah. When I said she was dead, I was confusing it with the 1979 comic we just covered.
Yeah, I know. That's why you threw me off, because I was like, but Rick just said she was dead. So you double confused me.
I know.
Yeah.
Oops, my
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah. All right. But she's looking good for being dead.
Yeah, she's doing all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Dave Cox is the Vietnam vet
Yeah.
who is missing his right arm, but he's got long hair and long beard. Look, Sherry, Captain America's come back. I hope it's your sister he's here to see and not the Serpent Squad again. Hey, Cap, remember me? Dave Cox. Sure, Dave. How's it going? Dave, I think Cap wants to see me. Could you leave us alone for a moment? I have to get home anyway, Sherry. Thanks for the walk. Whistling, the pacifist vet waves and wanders away, his notes unnoticed by the couple behind. Captain America again, huh? Sharon, I had to do this. Sure, without so much as a telephone call or even a thought for my feelings. There wasn't an, there wasn't time, honey. I know how you feel. And he puts his arms on her shoulders. But the Red Skull had crucified a kid. Oh, I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear about any of it. Death, death, death. That's your life, Sharon. And I was a fool to think you'd ever change. And she turns away, crying. Sharon, Sharon Carter. He has loved her from the moment they met, many years ago now. But is love enough to sustain them? For the first time, Steve Rogers wonders and wishes he had time to think about more deeply about it, but he doesn't. And now we're at the lighthouse. It's dark at night, and there's a house there next to the tall lighthouse on the edge of the cliff. And we hear Falcon. Take a look, Cap. The home of G. Lawton Sargent, U.S. Navy, retired. A man who likes the sea so much he lives in an abandoned lighthouse. What a spot for murder. No need to worry, Mr. Sargent. Your house will be well guarded. Blazes, it all sounds like some fool charade to me. And make it Admiral Sargent, okay? It sounds funny, but I earned it. Bob,
Yes, Rick.
uh, what do you think of him doing that?
Of what?
Of correcting him and saying it's Admiral Sargent.
Yeah.
Would you have done that to Captain America?
I would probably not, but it's a rank that like by right I could be called by my rank. I still have my rank.
How would
That's
you
not
like me referred to you, Bob?
Dr. Colonel. But like I don't really do that. But there are some people who insist on that thing, just like some people insist on I have faculty that I work with at the university and insist on being called doctor.
Oh, you mean like Jason also did 2 episodes ago
I
during
did not want
the Captain America Comic Book Fantasy Draft 5.
Did not want to. I didn't want to say that, but.
Well, he was right because I called him Mister
Right.
instead of and he was like, it was all in good fun.
No, it wasn't good fun.
Just teasing.
But like, I mean, military rank, academic rank, all these sorts of things, academic honors, they're important to some people, and particularly when you spend a lot of time and effort earning those ranks, it means things. So there are certain places where like people refer to me as doctor. There are other places where people call me by my rank, but in a general sense, I wouldn't use it. And I don't know, like if I would use it if Captain America came to my house. And so, but this is an official mission, right? Like they're there to protect him. So like this is like business. This isn't like a personal visit. So it's true. Maybe he sees it that way.
Considering everything you just said, what we're doing right now with this podcast recording is business, right? It's not personal. And I think after 5 years, I have earned the rank of host.
Yeah.
And so I think, and
Yeah.
also for that matter, the Facebook group as the admin.
Yeah. Admin host.
I think I should be now referred to as admin host Rick.
Yeah. Well, I would like to take that up a notch if I could, because I think you've earned it. I would call you admin host first class, Rick. So
Why don't
yeah.
you call me when you got no class? All right, getting back to the story. Can't imagine we could have done this in 59 minutes. Um, Look, all I do is travel down to the district once a month to help decide how to handle the economy. I could just see the skull coming after me when I was in the service, but now I'm just a desk jockey. And there's a knock at the door. Better let me answer that, Admiral. Peggy, Gabe, Cap, and who is? It's Peggy and Gabe, Bob.
Yeah. Peggy Carter and Gabe Jones, both of Shield.
I I guess we should have expected you to be here. Shield briefed us about your involvement in this case. Well, how are you? You look fine. And she kind of can't look him in the eye. But Gabe kind of senses what's going on here. Listen, I'm sure you want to talk to Cap privately, Peg. So go on ahead. I'll wait in the next room. Gabe's a very perceptive man, isn't he? Yes. Yes, he is. Mademoiselle, I want to tell you how sorry I am for the way I talked to you outside Sharon's apartment that night. I shouldn't have done it the way I did. Maybe I shouldn't have done it at all. No, you were right, Cap. What we had 30 years ago. That was a different world then. I'm like you, I think. I've had to learn today isn't yesterday, and I think it's a good thing. I think you might have found your eye on someone to replace me with, mademoiselle. And I further think Gabe Jones is one of the nicest guys I've ever had the privilege of knowing. Après vous, mademoiselle. Let's go to work. Après vous, my foot. Bob, what does après vous mean?
After you.
And there's a huge storm going on in the night sky, and the surf is rough. The shield troopers have the perimeter patrol, Cap, including boats in the bay and choppers in the sky. Gabe and I have checked the house and grounds. We're ready for him. Then I'm going to my room and read Melville. We'll be up, sir. It shouldn't take more than the Falcon Gabe to guard Sergeant Peggy. You and I can roam. You're the boss, Cap. And you are, too. The front office is so happy to have you back. They're giving you carte blanche without a murmur. What's carte blanche, Bob?
Or a blank slate or a white card, Rick.
And what does that mean?
Means you can write your name on it. If I can channel a little bit of Taylor Swift.
Oh, can you do it in Taylor Swift, please?
I cannot.
Aww.
You got a blank space, baby, and you can. No, not doing it.
All right, we're gonna get a cease and desist.
Another one. Yeah.
Well, it looks like we're the babysitters, Falcon. Yeah, guess so. Hey, didn't you used to have a fiancée? The times I ran into you around SHIELD headquarters? Name of Carla or something like that? Yeah, Carla's right. And yeah, we used to have a thing going. That ended 4 years back. And yeah, I'm interested in someone else nowadays, but I haven't told her about it yet. So let's drop this subject, okay? Okay, man, okay. Didn't mean to touch a nerve. While outside, can't see 5 yards in this storm. We'd be better off if it were snowing. That's great about Peggy, though, and it's one thing I can get out of my mind. And then Peggy's thinking to herself, it never ceases to amaze me how young Cap looks. I'm 47, and he could be 25. I sure don't feel 47, though. Not since I took shield training. And then out of nowhere, what happens, Bob?
The skull, the red skull came out of nowhere, Rick.
And he comes up behind her and grabs her. Foolish female! That Americans would send a woman into combat does not surprise me. But that you would consider yourself qualified does. Here, only domination can. Ow! And what happens?
She steps back with her heel and jams it into the top of his foot.
And then she takes her left elbow and elbows him. What does Nazi stand for again, Hans? National chauvinism? You're dealing with a qualified shield agent, not Betty Grable. But I shall treat you just as I would Betty Grable. And he punches her in the face.
Wham!
Now, woman, wait. This scuffle has been heard. There are reinforcements running this way. And indeed, charging through the stinging rain is Cap and Gabe. Peggy, what happened? He got away, darn it. Clipped me a good one and took off. Which way did he go? Whichever it was, he's got to be heading towards Sergeant. And now the Falk's the only guard. Come on, Gabe, back inside. I only wanted to see if Peggy was all right. Yeah, I know. They pound toward the tower. Fear's mounting, but Falcon's there, telling him everything's okay. Looks like you beat him back, guys. It's been as quiet as a grave, church in here. Well, now we know the skull's around. We're taking no chances. I'll lock us all in till midnight passes. And he locks the door. And each of us, Bob, that's the sound. Cap, that whistling. It's Chopin's funeral march. He's in the building. And then the lights go out. Oh my God. Wait a minute. I saw a candle. There. Oh no. Oh no. What do we see, Bob?
Well, it is the Admiral Sergeant, the Honorable Admiral Sergeant, laying on the floor, and it looks like he has been touched by the death dust.
He did it. In the darkness, the Red Skull reached the Admiral with his dust of death in a locked room under all our noses. But how? How? Next issue, we'll tell you how. And you're not even going to believe it. Well, how's that for a cliffhanger?
Wow, that Red Skull is one tricky dude.
Really is. He's got a flair for the dramatic.
He surely does. Yes.
And don't call me Shirley. Have you seen the new Naked Gun movie?
I have not seen the new Naked. I got to be honest with you, Rick. I've heard it's quite good. I've
heard good things about it too.
Yeah, I've heard it's quite funny. But like the trailers that I've seen at the theater, like I'm like, it's not ringing my bell at all.
Yeah, I felt the same way.
Yeah,
but, every once in a while, you need a good laugh out loud kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they just don't make a lot of comedies nowadays.
They sure don't. Don't. Yeah.
So I think eventually I'm going to see it.
Yeah, I might wait till it's
streaming
or something. Or,
me too.
Rent or something at home. I don't know if I'll go out, but yeah.
What'd you think of this story?
Hey, it's got Red Skull, right? It's got the band back together. Art's great. I enjoyed it. I think this is good, man. It's great to have the skull back, and it's got a great cliffhanger. It's got some great action. And it's educational.
Yeah, we learned some new words.
Yeah, so it's bilingual.
That's true,
right? So I mean, it's got lots of
there's some French and German.
Yeah, no, yeah,
trilingual. That's trilingual.
Yeah, so it's got a lot going for it. So I think it's a good story, right? Man, right in the heart of the 70s. So good stuff.
Yeah, and it also, I feel like he's wrapping some things up, right? Like, so he's getting Falcon and Cap back together. He's kind of getting Peggy and Steve kind of like
Mm-hmm.
coming to terms with their relationship,
Yeah.
and you've got some issues going on with him and Sharon,
Yep.
and then you got little Dave Cox in
Yeah.
the
In the
background.
mix. He's in the
Yeah,
mix.
there's
Yeah.
little Cox in the mix.
Yeah.
Uh, all right, Bob, you go first. What is your favorite panel?
So excited I get to go first, Rick, because I was so worried you were going to pick this one. So,
Mm.
when they're fighting at the Capitol building, and toward the end, I think, I'm reading off a digital copy, so it's around page 13, upper left panel, and it is the Red Skull, and he's doing what villains do, right? Like laying out his plan. But I love that the way he does it is he's educating the reader about the Federal Open Market Committee and monetary policy. Just very, very specific. And I was like, what the heck is Englehart doing here? That he felt the need to like lay it out in such specificity. Yeah, that's the one. I love that panel. And I love it because it is like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's awesome. Like, I bet like 99.9% of readers who picked up this issue had never heard of the Federal Open Market Committee before and its role in setting monetary policy. But there it is. Yeah, so I love it. I love a good educational panel. You know that.
Indeed. Yeah, I do. All right, nicely done.
Yeah, and yourself, Rick?
I wasn't going to pick that one.
You
Bob,
weren't?
so
I was
you
really
didn't have
worried.
to worry.
Very concerned.
If anything, Bob, if you had been on my Facebook page today or last night, you would have seen in my personal feed, I put the panel I'm about to pick.
Ooh, all right. Well, doggone it.
My favorite panel is page 3,
risky.
and it's the last panel of page 3, and it's Cap's. I like the art because it's kind of unique. Where Cap is, he's got his legs in 45-degree angles, like bend at the knee both ways. Very Frank Robbins, and he's twisting his body and catching his shield on the ricochet. But that's not why I'm picking it. I'm picking it because of what it says. And it says, you made me remember what was important about this country, Skull. The dream it was built on, not the dead wood thrown on top.
Nice. Yeah.
It was you who made me come to grips with the idea that you're not the only enemy that Dream has. Not all our foes are diehard Nazis. So I like that.
Yeah, that's a great selection.
Yeah.
Man. And what about your t-shirt worthy?
Yeah, my T-shirt, Bob, actually is the cover. It was good enough to go on a Slurpee cup. It's good enough to go on my T-shirt.
Yeah.
And you know what? While I am wearing a Red Skull T-shirt right now, you can't have enough villains on a T-shirt, right? Like there's not enough villains out there.
There's slim pickings.
Really? So I think this particular one, because it's got the Red Skull, it's got the Cap, it's got Falcon, it's got who you think is Sharon Carter, and it is, I think, memorable. I think people will remember the Slurpee cup and be like, and they see that shirt. So
Yeah.
there you go.
All right. Okay.
What about you? What are you putting on a T-shirt?
Well, I'm going to go with page 2, center panel. And it is the one where it says, yet Steve Rogers was Captain America until he saw how America failed its ideals. And then he was the nomad until he saw how he failed his ideals. Now he is Captain America again. And it's got the Cap. He's sort of squatting down with a knee to the ground, and he's got his shield, and he's got a look of determination on him, like he's getting ready to rise up again and take on the world. So I like that. I think that's like your selection for T-shirt. I think, for her favorite panel, it's a meaningful, some meaningful text there that I think would look good with the image.
Yep, I agree. I mean, the shield's a little big.
It is a little big, yeah.
Yeah. It's certainly not being hidden underneath a sport coat on his back.
Right.
That's a big shield. They don't get bigger than that.
Yeah.
And what's going in your time capsule, Bob?
Well, I gotta go with the references to Betty Grable, Rick, on
I like that.
Yeah, around page 17, and it's not just once but twice. And it's very if you think about it, this was 75. Betty Grable passed away 2 years earlier at the age of 56 from cancer, lung cancer, I think. But she was a big star in the 30s and 40s. I think she was the highest paid actress of her era in that time frame. So she was, one of those actresses who soldiers and sailors and airmen and Marines had her picture up, in their footlockers or on their walls. So it's appropriate that would be sort of the reference that Peggy Carter would pull on, right? That's what she knew and remembered from her youth. So, but for us in the modern age, we'd be like, who the heck's Betty Grable, right? I mean, kids weren't going to know. So it really does situate this comic in that time frame.
If you say so.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it more sets the 40s, the 30s and 40s.
Well,
but
I'm saying though, the people in the 70s who are reading this would know who Betty Grable was because she had just passed away, and it was a very big deal when she passed away. Her funeral was attended by lots and lots of movie stars from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So
I wonder if they played Chopin.
Then maybe so. So people would have known, but today people would not know if you mentioned Betty Grable.
Yep. My time capsule is going for the low-hanging fruit, page 11, panel 5. It's the one where it says 1974 was a long, hard grind. I think that one is, you know what comic you're reading.
Yeah.
If you find this in a time capsule, even though, again, like as you pointed out, things are cyclical.
Right. If you could take out that 1974 at the beginning of that text, and it could be any point, right? It could be the 90s, could be the 2000s, 2010s, could be now.
Yeah.
But this was my backup choice for time capsule.
Oh yeah.
So
okay.
Yeah. So I thought it was a great panel.
All right. Well, come back next. Let's see. For the next part 2 is going to be episode 265. So it's not going to be for another, 4 or 5 episodes, right? Because this is 260. Yeah. So 5 episodes from now, we'll get to part 2. So make sure you come back for that. And then next episode, we're going to do a panel by panel drama, but it's going to be from 2025. Bob, you want to tell the listeners what we're going to cover?
Yeah, we're going to do the one-shot, Captain America and Volstagg.
Yeah, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
It is, I haven't read it yet, but it's on Marvel Unlimited, so I'm definitely going to check that out. And it's written by our pal, J. Michael Straczynski.
Yes. Yeah. Great little story. So if you haven't read it, make sure you tune in and listen to the panel by panel, because I know it's going to whet your appetite.
Can't wait for that. All right, Bob. Well, as always, it's been fun wrapping cap with you.
It has. Can't wait till next week.
All right. He's Bob Lucius. I'm Rick Verbanis. And if you don't mind, please rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen. If you're on YouTube right now, you know what to do. Smash that thumbs up button. We love the 5-star reviews on Apple. It's been a while since we've gotten one of those. And also, if you care, send us a question to be read on the air. We will certainly do that. So send that to capcomicfans@gmail.com. And as always, we thank you for listening to another episode of the Captain America Comic Book Fans Podcast.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I don't know if you've heard, but Mint's premium wireless is $15 a month. But I'd like to offer one other perk. We have no stores. That means no small talk. Crazy weather we're having. No, it's not. It's just weather. It is an introvert's dream. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, $15 per month equivalent required. New customer offer first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.